Hello, everyone. How are you? Happy Libra full moon. This is a full moon that you need to act from the truth of your heart. In a world that's so far out of balance, we welcome a Libra full moon whose symbol is the scale, the instrument of balance. All things have an opposing force, and it's Libra's job to weigh that opposing force and create harmony and balance, keeping peace between the realms. Justice is feminine and has always been Lady Justice. Why? Because spiritual justice requires receptivity, the sacred balance of reciprocity. It is the give and take, which is an essential part of justice. It belongs to nature. It belongs to flow. It is the work of the great cosmic grandmothers. Divine justice holds the scale in her left hand, symbolizing the feminine and also symbolizing the intuition that needs to be present when we talk about justice. Spiritual justice, or just justice in general, has always had spirit at its core. It has always been a search for truth and then the integral actions once you receive that truth. The sword, or the feather, Ma'at's feather, of truth is often weighed against your heart or your desire. And that shows us the delicate balance between what we want and we desire and truth, justice. Libra's energy is to act from the truth of your heart, the truth of your desire. And to be out of balance or to be out of harmony ultimately means that we're operating outside of our heart's truth. So now we ask ourselves, what relationships need to be moved into balance by telling the truth and by lightening your heart? And when we tell the truth of our heart, it becomes lighter and lighter like a feather. This moon has a square to Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Cancer. Cancer is those that are closest to us, our lineage, the place that we have a sense of belonging, our core, our foundation. So I believe that this truth-telling Libra moon will deeply call us forward to tell the truth to some of those that are closest to us, and that can be difficult. The scale that Libra holds is order. It is the order of the cosmos. It's the balance of chaos and truth in the cosmos. Truth brings order. So if we have to tell the truth to some of those who are closest to us, what we also will be doing is bringing or calling in divine order. So where are there places where more order is needed in our lives? And what truths do we need to tell there to create divine order in our lives? Because Venus is the ruler of Libra and Venus currently is comfortable in Taurus, and I'm going to come back on here to talk about Venus in Taurus, being at home in Taurus and super comfortable. But because Venus is the ruler of Libra, is super comfortable at home in Taurus, the question then that we may need to ask ourselves is, what truth do I need to face now regarding not only what's necessary for my survival, but what is necessary for my comfort? What truth do I need to tell now about what relationships sabotage my peace and my comfort? And you heard me, you might be telling this to people that are close to you. So, what relationships that are close to you are sabotaging your peace and your comfort? What relationships support your rich harvest? Libra is also the sign of harvest. So, what relationships support your rich harvest and help you build? What relationships can you count on at this time in the world when we very much need community? What relationships and whom can you partner with in your family, chosen or otherwise, that can help you prepare, stock, and build resources in a harmonious and balanced way? So, what this means is, what relationships are just? What relationships are built on the truth that you can count on at this time to move in a harmonious and balanced way as we're making our way through survival and even thriving at this time? This new moon brings an intensity, this new moon comes at a time when there's a lot of intensity in the world. There's a lot of opposing Aryan warrior fire like energy. And this new moon, it brings the softness, the receptivity, the divine feminine truth, the heart's desire to the center. This can be a much welcome reprieve for us during this time that in a world that's on fire. If you'll stay with me a little longer, we'll talk about the herbs that support. So, what are some of the herbs that support this moon or this energy of this moon? Well, the kidneys are the organ in the body that's responsible for flow. It is responsible for the giving and the receiving aspects of harmony and balance. So some of the herbs that I'm going to recommend are herbs that we use to support the health of the kidneys. The first one I want to talk about is the herb dandelion, which comes up at this time of the year. We can see dandelion growing all over our yard. And this medicine is particularly beautiful for resilience, but it's beautiful for telling the truth. And this moon, we may need some dandelion to help us tell the truth of our heart. Dandelion is rich in potassium, and it's a gentle diuretic that helps us to cleanse the kidneys and remove excess waste, or it also helps us flush out salts and excess water. And it's rich in potassium, so while it's acting as a diuretic, it also helps to replenish us, and so our potassium is not lost through urination. Dandelion could be used as a tea. Nettle leaf is another one of my favorite herbs here because it helps to prevent kidney stones by flushing out minerals before they're crystallize. Nettles is also super spiritually protective. So if you are needing protection as you seek balance from other energies, nettles could be a really beautiful herb to work with. It is also anti-inflammatory and great for urinary tract health. So this can be also consumed as a tea, nettles. The last one I want to talk about is marshmallow. I love marshmallow because of all the mucilage or the mucilaginous compounds that this herb has. It coats and it soothes things. It coats and it soothes our mucous membranes, including the mucous membranes of the urinary tract, so that there's no irritation. It helps to reduce irritation and inflammation. It helps with discomfort or pain from the passaging of urinary tract stones or kidney stones. And this is typically used as a cold infusion or as a cold tea. But I also very much love Marshmallow for softening to this energy of the divine feminine. So if we are working with a world that's full of Aries energy, a world that's on fire and super, super masculine, it is great to add some dynamic energy of the feminine in here so that we can also be soft, be gentle with ourselves when seeking harmony and balance. And even in telling the truth, there's a need for softness and gentleness. And this is why it's related to deep intuition and the energy of the mothers. I personally come from a line of truth tellers who had so much love in their hearts. And so I'm recommending this to you. Thank you.